Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. So, of course, I'm here to do the 48-hour analysis, but we kind of already know how much we're going to offer for all these skins. We're going to do low-ball buy orders. I mean, regardless in how much all of these sell, we're not feeling very confident because, of course, this is Christmas week 2 for 2025. It's all very gimmicky Christmas skins. Now, you might sit there and say, well, duh, of course this could be gimmicky Christmas skins. No, they quite literally, like, properly showcase, like, the wintry Christmas themes and whatnot. And people most likely will not want to use them any other day of the year. Now, of course, in the lead up to next year, with the anticipation for next year's Christmas, that of course, being Christmas 2025, yeah, okay, then they might start rising up in price and whatnot. But we know for a fact, around March and April time, these will drop off. We've put out all the warnings. I've told you multiple times, and I'm sure you can take that in. But still, we can look at all the skins out of routine and, just see how much all of them sell by next Thursday. We'll figure that out by doing some comparisons with previous Rustore skins, and yeah, shouldn't be too hard. So let's hop out of here. As you can see, the sales are a little bit higher. I should also point out that, yeah, I'm actually 2 hours late for 48-hour analysis. I'm very sorry about that. I do apologise. But honestly, with the sales that we've seen, it's hardly changed. It's just like a few hundred extra subscribers. So, all right, not too bad. So, like I said, shall we go ahead, look through all these skins and try and figure out how much each of them are going to likely sell by next Thursday? Well, let's go ahead and do that then. First of all, with the garage door, an awesome, lovely piece of work. A lot of people are like, it's AI. No, it's not AI. This is made, well, I do believe it's drawn by Mr. Kostya. You might recall earlier this year, Kostya, Falk, they've worked on the Nuke Vibe collection. And whilst you might not be super impressed with the prices of those skins, if you've actually seen those skins in game, you'd be incredibly surprised of how nicely detailed it is. This is actually drawn by the artist, right? So, shut up, you lot. I assure you, it's not AI. And at the very least, it should have been checked and whatnot with all the submissions that were submitted for Christmas 2025. So, all right, cool. If this didn't have like all the Christmas stuff in it, if it's just like toy soldiers, honestly, I think that would probably be one of the most sought after and appreciated designs. However, will still people like it? Will still people want to use it, regardless if it's Christmas or not? Like, again, by default, I am expecting it to drop off. Let's also point out this is the 39th garage door to be accepted in 2025. But honestly, in anticipations next year, I do believe that will be working out quite all right. But again, it will be a lower price buy order. Maybe about halfway in terms of its price. So if it's selling for $2.49, maybe I'll only offer about $1.20. We'll see how it goes. Again, the overall sales will have a bit of an impact. So let's go ahead and start figuring out how much it's likely to sell by next Thursday. Let's switch over to here. 8,400 subscribers. Out of the recent Rustores, do we have anything that compares to it? Not really, but we do have like hard suit tactical gloves here with just under 8,000 subscribers. Just a little bit below in comparison to this. How much do those tactical gloves sell again? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Let's remember. Let's go back to the past. It's not that week. It's the week before that, Hedge. All right, there we go. Yep. 16,300 subscribers, but we are anticipating that the garage door will be selling more than that. So honestly, 16,000 to 18,000 subscribers. Let's just look at the current sales right now. 12,150. Yeah, 16 to 18 sounds very plausible. Is that going to be all right for it in the future? I mean, it's not a ridiculous amount of sales. Let's remind ourselves, with last year, we saw a fantastic looking anime girl Sheet Metal, didn't we? That had about 30,000 subscribers. If that went up in price and did very well, regardless of the possibility of like the collection continuation and whatnot, like if that worked out wonderfully in anticipation for this year's Christmas, I can't help but assume this brand new garage door is going to probably be appreciated just as much. Next year, could we see Gingerbread Raid Sheet Metal Double Door or Sheet Metal Door or something like that? I mean, I'm anticipating it. I'm expecting it. So there's lots of possibilities with this. Sales at the moment, though, it doesn't seem too ridiculous. But expectations do point towards the likelihood that it will go down in price. Will it reach a low point around March and April time? Yeah, that's to be expected. 16,000 to 18,000 subscribers. We'll still wait at least until Wednesday. We'll look at the sales. We'll make more considerations. But it's looking okay. But we are expecting it to drop off. So be prepared for such a thing. And if you bought one for yourself because you liked it, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it. So, show support to the skin creators. Next year we might see more of it. We shall see. But yeah, don't feel upset if I'm now sitting here saying it's going to go down in price and you're like, oh no, I didn't realise that was going to happen. No, you bought it because you liked it. Keep it. Appreciate it. Right, so cool. Frosty's Chest, an awesome sequel to the fridge and the locker. This did 22,600 subscribers. This did about 10,000 less, almost. Well, I mean, 16,700. And then over to here, currently this has about 9,000 subscribers. If I were to refresh, maybe it'll update a little bit better. Okay, didn't do that, but anyway. How much is the large box likely to sell by next Thursday? I'll just quickly switch over to here. 6,300 subscribers. What do I want to compare to? Honestly, I think if we go further back here, Forest Raiders bed and Neon Bismuth locker, if we go in between these two, so 6,800 and 5,800, let's go ahead and find out how much they sell in the end. Let's go ahead and see. There we are. Yep, so this did 13,000 subscribers, and this right here did about 15,500 subscribers. Now, as I look over to here, see the current sales, you know what? 13,000 to 15,000 subscribers seems totally fine with me. In comparison to the other Frosty skins, it very likely could be the lowest selling skin out of all three. And next year, of course, we anticipate, another interesting looking Frosty's design. Now, I actually asked earlier, hey, do you reckon you could do a sheep in a door? There you go, yay! But we got to wait till next year. Oh, hey, it's like a front door with like the glass on the top, with like all the snow covering and whatnot. I think that would be a perfectly fine looking touch, but you got to wait till next year. So, large boxes this year. It's kind of hard to figure out how things are going to do, like perform, because of course we had the Cinetype collection. I mean, you have other skins, but Twitch drops, Kick drops. Oh dear. Like all the independent skins that came out this year, they're not exactly looking super great, are they? So that's making me a little bit concerned. And then you got like Christmas skins. So here's a perfect example. We've already talked about this with the predictions video, if I can recall. This did not sell that much. It's in the positive. This did sell quite a bit more. It's not in the positive. Sales do have an impact. Of course, it can lead to certain skins having a lot more listed on the Steam market in comparison to others. So if this sells a perfectly fine amount, honestly, I don't think it'll be swamping the Steam market in the future, and I do believe it could rise up in price ever so nice. So for the large box, 13 to 15,000 subscribers, and with the possibility of this, progressing again next year for Christmas 2026, I think it's fine. But again, with that sitting there priced at $2.49, it very likely will be about halfway again. We do anticipate these prices dropping off, and a nice quick showcase is to look at the Christmas Eve large box. This definitely went down lower in price in comparison to the Neon Christmas large box around Easter time 2025. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. That's not surprising. You should be fully well aware that I've been doing a lot of sales today. So let's just quickly refresh this. Ta-da! Come on. There we go. Right, can I also get the extension working? Let's get that set up. Wonderful. Right then, so as you can see here, it's currently sitting at about $1.50. It has been going down in price because, of course, well, that's it. Christmas is done. But I just want to really emphasize the point that that went to about 90 cents. That did get cheap. Wow, it got even cheaper around May time. That's a bit of a surprise. But do we understand? Do we notice? With this doing more sales in comparison to the other large box, yeah, this went down pretty bad. And, you very likely might be ending up at around $1. And it wouldn't be too surprising based on what we saw with the previous year's large box art. Cool. We get the idea. So let's now go ahead and move on to the next skin. Christmas Route AK-47. What are we going to compare to? Well, I thought, you know what, let's just compare to the previous week. So if I could just quickly switch over here to justify my actions. As you'll see, the AK-47 did about 5,246 subscribers. And of course, with the previous week, oh no, did I delete the thing? Oh, it's here, sorry. I thought with the wooden door here at 5,500, the Possessed Gingerbread Satchel with 5,100, almost 5,200 subscribers, and the Gingerbread Tactical Gloves with just over 5,000 subscribers, I thought they're the perfectly fine thing to consider comparing to. And so, let's go back over to here. Let's see how they all turned out. So this reached 11,500, this reached 11,000, this reached about 12,200, so okay. I reckon, again, looking at the AK-47 currently as well, I reckon that AK is going to do between 10 to 12,000 subscribers. Now, when it comes to Christmas AK-47s, we've had a decent amount in the past. I will quickly remind you. Quite a lot of them did go down in price. Santa's Helper, Merryfire AK-47, down 56 and down 59. Scroll. Snowflake AK-47, down 48. Gingerbread Man, that did go up on the positive like for the past 2 weeks. Now it's starting to slip back down again. It's basically evens though. That's the best performing skin for an AK we've seen coming out for Christmas. And, well, it took a while to get there, I guess you could say. But what I'm trying to get across is the majority of these AK-47s, they do drop off. It's a spectacular, fun, cute look and design. I just don't think it's going to hold up very nicely. Again, it'll be out season very quickly. And, well, will people want to buy it like, throughout the rest of the whole of 2026? I don't think so. Not until around November, December time. So, yeah, that's not exactly looking super great, is it? So, yep, 10 to 12,000 subscribers. Most likely outcome is it's going to drop off like a standard AK-47 would, down to around and less than $1. Oh, dear. Now, we're going to do the final batch of skins in 2 separate batches. So, for the Poncho, the Sheep Matador, the semi-automatic rifle, the Rock, and the Small Box, we're pairing all of that together. And I can see, so let's just quickly switch over to here. I can see with my eyes 3,600 subscribers down to about 3,000 subscribers. What would be a good thing to compare to? Well, just look at the previous week. We have the Ginger Farmer Tools, there you go, 3,172 down to just over 3,000 subscribers. I thought, you know what, that's probably the best thing to compare to. So let's just go to the previous week and see for ourselves that the tools did between 6,000 to 7,000 subscribers. Now, being realistic with you, there's a possibility that some of these will drop off and slow down completely and not really sell that much. I think from the Poncho to the Small Box, they're all expected to do between 5,000 to 7,000 subscribers. Now, that's pretty low, isn't it? Yep, yes it is. Could they actually work out quite nicely? Well, more specifically of the Poncho, if we do see a collection continuation next year, oh, that might be pretty interesting. But it's referred to as the Scarf Poncho. Unfortunately, it didn't come out with the gloves that was, submitted with it, which is, well, it was a bit odd. But anyway, if that's referred to as the Scarf Poncho, is Face Punch willing to accept other skins, and will they have to be referred to as the Scarf Collection? It's a bit odd. It's a bit silly, but being realistic with you, I don't think that'll be holding up. And being realistic with you, I'm not sure if there will be a sequel in the future. Maybe you just want to play it a little bit safer there. Well, it's up to you. But with hardly any sales, perhaps it could work out quite all right. Obviously, it's sitting there at 5,200 subscribers at the moment. Perhaps it will surpass 7,000. We'll keep an eye on it. But I'm struggling to feel like confident to go ahead and do like a good barter on that. And with it not being abnormal, that's also a bit of a problem. So, yeah, maybe we'll just stick with a much lower price barter. Looks interesting. It's a very fun, creative usage of transparency. It's just, yeah, it's not like we've never seen a transparent poncho before. And if I could just quickly remind you, let's just go get a look at you. The majority of them down pretty bad, so not feeling very confident. Chocolate bar sheep matador. Yeah, I just can't help but assume we're going to go down in price. You're not even the first ever chocolate sheep matador. Now, here's hoping I'm not going to crash here. Chocolate. If you've got the O. There we go. Right. Chocolate sheep matador, where are you? I need to stare at you now. There you go. We've had a standard chocolate sheep matador in the past, and it's not holding up very nicely. As you'll see over to here, yeah. So it's not holding up its price. It's got no demand, and I can't help but assume the Christmas one's going to follow suit as well. So that's not looking very pretty. Gingerbread SAR, it's fine for what it is, but it doesn't really stand out that much. So 60 cents to 80 cents. Gingerbread Man Rock, for what it is, I have no issue. But the amount of rock skins we've seen this year and the previous year, it's only getting more and more wacky. How many like head and face designs did we have for a rock this year? Baby Hippo Rock 1, Sloth Rock 2, Bee Rock 3, Senior Tomato, well, there you go, 5. No, 4 Hedge. Mr. Chick Rock would be 5. That thing, are you even an animal? Guess you could say 6 there. Tortoise Rock, well, you don't even see his eyes. Fine. 5, 6, 7, who knows? But yes, we do have quite a lot of options, and I'm I'm sorry to say, I do expect that to drop off. It's not even the first ever Christmas rock skin. Let's just quickly showcase that to you as well. So if I could just scroll down, what do we see? Polar Bear Rock. Whilst we don't see the actual picture for it at the moment, it's not loading in, unfortunately. It never recovered and it never went back all the way up to its rust or price. So that's a bit of a concern. Scroll. We saw Santa's cookie sack quite some time back. It barely even budged. As we've gone through Christmas, and of course with anticipation to Christmas, it barely even budged. So I'm not feeling very confident with that, and it very likely will be a lowball builder. I mean, we've already said that, but come on, you get the idea. Right, anyway. Neon Snowflake Small Box. It is a sequel to the Garage Door and the large box of the previous year. These did not change. With this being accepted, they did not boost. Oh. So, for what you are, it's perfectly fine. I do expect it to drop off. If you were to sit there and only do about 5,000 subscribers, you would look a whole lot more interesting, 100%. But, again, it might not happen seriously until, as we get closer and closer to Christmas 2026. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Lack of sales definitely indicates a lack of interest. But, I mean, there's a lack of interest for the whole store. People were super checked out the second they saw this. I remembered all the comments. So, yeah, okay. We'll keep an eye on that. That, at the very least, is abnormal. But all these other skins here, so they're all regular skins. They will not become marketable until the rust or rotates. So that will be a bit of a problem. Now, for the final portion of skins, I'm talking about the bed. I'm talking about the bow, the wooden double door, the double barrel shotgun, and the handmade LMG. Well then, initially they sold like nothing. So let's just get this showcased. So from the bed, 2,800 subscribers, down to the bow, 2,557, down to the wooden double door, 2,500, down to the double barrel shotgun, 2,100, down to the handmade LMG, 2,077. That's incredibly low. Like, I'm surprised by that. But then again, with the context of this store, alright, maybe it's not too surprising. So, let's quickly hop out of here. I want to compare to the Temple handmade LMG, which came out quite some time back. Now, why I don't want to do that? Because if I could just switch over to here, where are we? There we are, 2,472. So, yeah, that's a bit of a surprise. But it's also a great thing to compare to. So let's go ahead and do just that. Right. Temple handmade LMG only did about 5,000 subscribers. If I were to just quickly switch back over to here, looking at the skins. So from the bed all the way over to down to here, 3,800 at the moment. I get the feeling all of these skins, starting with the bed all the way through to the handmade LMG, I think they're going to do between 4,000 to 6,000 subscribers. Now, could that actually work out quite nicely in the future? Well, for the bed, I'm very, very, very interested. This is the first ever instance of a Christmas themed bed in regards to both of these, just to point out. But as time goes on, will they actually work out quite nicely? Will people actually like jump onto them once it's around November and December time next year? No idea. This is the first ever instance of this, so I'm here to learn. I'm here to keep track. A sheer lack of sales definitely will give it a lovely boost. But could it still drop off quite a bit, of course, with it being out of season? Like, how many listings are we actually going to see in the Steam market? And of course, don't forget, this is subscriber counts. That's the bare minimum amount of sales. Maybe some people went and bought 1,000 of them. Although, I'm not sure why people would do that. It's a perfectly fine looking bed. It's just, it's out of season very quickly. So, alright, fair enough. We'll keep an eye on you. You are interesting. Potentially the lowest selling bed we've ever seen. For now. So, alright, cool. Gingerbread bow, it's perfectly fine for what it is. It's just that, when you take a look at all the hunting bows of the past, well, you're doing alright. You're not. We only see like 1 or 2 instances of a hunting bow actually being in the positive out of its entire year. And if I could just switch back over to here. Oh, look, there you go. Black Ops bow. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? It's just, yeah. All of others aren't exactly holding out super great. However, this is also selling next to nothing. So if there's at least some interest, then perhaps that actually will be working out quite alright. Due to the fact that we'll see hardly any listings on the Steam market. So, alright, cool. Gingerbread wooden double door. I don't normally see that many wooden double door skins being submitted every single week, so it is looking interesting. It is looking appealing, and with the sheer lack of sales in regards to this as well, I mean, yeah, if you're going to only do about like 4,000 to 6,000 subscribers, that's ridiculous. And it kind of gets me thinking perhaps it could probably work out quite all right then, even when it's not Christmas. We'll see. That wooden double door doesn't glow in the dark or anything, though. It's just a perfectly fine-looking gingerbread design, so I'll keep an eye on you. I just want to point out, with post-Christmas now rolling in, these are starting to improve. These two, oh, they got quite a lot to catch up with, so keep an eye on it. Lack of sales is making it look more and more interesting. Unfortunately, it's not abnormal. Xmas Blast double barrel shotgun. Just want to quickly showcase to you all the double barrel shotgun skins of the past. Okay. Did we get one that came out somewhat recently that actually went up in the positive? Scroll. Well, we do have Bamboo Blaster and Blackout double barrel shotgun. This right here sold absolutely nothing. 4,570 subscribers. And then, of course, the Blackout double barrel shotgun is just a blackout weapon. People appreciate the whole collection, so the prices usually just stay up quite nicely. So, yeah, by default, based on all of the skins I'm looking at here, the most likely answer is that this will drop off. Now, if I could just get a good look at this, so let's just go on game, give a good look at you. Come on, there we go. It's a perfectly fine, colourful looking design, but yes, I am anticipating that's just going to drop off. Sorry to say, but it is expected, right? So, all right, fair enough. And then we have the Christmas Candy Handmade LMG. Let's just quickly remind ourselves, last week we had a very interesting handmade LMG. It had a transparent aim sight, looking very nice. Didn't sell too ridiculously. Lo and behold, it's actually in the positive very nicely at the moment. Well, that did about just under 7,000 subscribers. With this brand new handmade LMG over to here, currently priced at $3, could that actually work out quite alright with a sheer lack of sales? And just to remind all of you, yes, this also happens to have a transparent aim sight. So there you go. Ta-da! Why is it we're suddenly seeing tons of transparent aim sights in Christmas stores? Pretty wild, but also, yeah. Not going to complain, are we? No. So keep an eye on this as well. If the previous week's handmade LMG just went up in price very quickly, could the same be said with you? So that's pretty much everything in regards to the estimates with the total sales. And don't forget, the estimates are also listed in the chapters, so you can scroll down and see for yourself in case you forgot certain things that are mentioned here. Now, let me just point out, regular skin submissions, they are still there. Oh, look, a brand new pair of tactical gloves. And also, I'd like to confirm the focused item of the month for January 2026 is the combat knife. So that's looking pretty sweet. That's looking pretty cool. But speaking of pretty sweet and pretty cool, I want to go ahead and talk about what we have going on over here. So, I announced it just a few days ago. Post-Christmas 2026 begins. Through December 26, on just this one account, I went from £192 to £566. Basically, it was just slightly above $500. That's what I raised literally just on that day. Technically speaking, it was yesterday for me right now as I'm talking. But yeah, did just that. And I rose ever so nicely. I can actually give you a nice little update right now. Did you notice the funds I have on my account just back over to here? So, oh, it's increased. And let's just refresh. Did it increase even more? Oh, yeah, slightly. So, yep, I'm getting all those sales in. And, well, I'm certainly happy because a lot of prices have been rising up ever so nicely. Now is probably the best time to sell for quite some time. So, let's just quickly showcase the video over to here. Yep, get a good look at this. Time to sell Rust skins post-Christmas 2026. Yeah, prices are rising ever so nicely because, of course, people have time off. And with time off, they play a lot more Rust. And with a lot more people playing Rust, we tend to see, like, well, prices in general for all skins rising up ever so nicely as well. So, all right, cool. Understood. Consider giving this a good watch. It will explain quite a lot in regards to, well, why are skins rising up in price? Should I sell my skins right now? Like, it'll give you a nice bit of insight. Kind of prepare you. So, all right, cool. And that pretty much is everything that needs to be said. So I have the tweet here. I don't really need to link it to you or whatever. I have the video on YouTube for you to watch. All right then. So lots of sales. Get a good look at that. A nice bit of variety. I just list them. I wait a while, and then suddenly people just buy them. So you got to start looking for your inventories right now. Let's just go ahead and do just that. So yep, switch over to here. Come on, show all the way based on price. You're going to go look through every single skin that you actually want to sell, and then just kind of consider, do you need to sell it right now, or could you wait at least until January 4th swipe? January 4th swipe 2026 is going to happen on literally January 1st. I am expecting a lot of people to be playing. What's the peak player count today? Let's see here. It's just that amount. Still very good though, and I'd like to confirm that average player count is increasing by 2 every single day. We are actually on pace to potentially reach or just get slightly below what we saw for last year's December 2024. So things are improving. Things are looking pretty sweet. So is hoping everything lines up perfectly. And once we hit January time, I certainly hope that there's a lot more people playing and prices in general are even better, right? I'm already putting some effort into get some sales in right now. I have tons of skins. Don't get upset with me if I'm selling now, right? I know it tends to be a whole lot better if you're to sell around January time, because that's like 100% certain that we'll be seeing a lot of people turning up again. With everybody still having time off, I'm not sure how many people are going to see turning up, but I do expect it to be more than that. All right. Considering it's like the Steam sale at the moment and all that, you probably got a bunch of new people that are only just getting started. All right, cool. So that's the end. Keep an eye out. Get on your knees and pray for the things that you want to see being accepted next, because of course, lots of regular skin submissions returning once again. And yeah, so that's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Sorry if I stalled for a bit, and sorry if I was a bit slow. I am a bit under the weather. I got like a bit of a bad cold. I hope it didn't sound weird when I was talking and all that. And sorry if I kind of paused for a little bit too long. So that's it. So catch you later. Best of luck with you and all of your sales. Look for your inventories, get those sales in, and enjoy the sweet, delicious look of profit.